Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome back for another fun episode of Talk Real Estate Tuesday. I'm Ashley Nate. I go live on Tuesdays about relevant real estate topics. And we're just going to hop right into it today and talk a little bit more about short-term rentals. So by that, I'm talking about your vacation rentals, Airbnbs, VRBO, all that fun stuff. So we started this conversation in my live last week where I talked about just things to consider if you are thinking about purchasing a vacation rental. And this week we're going to kind of continue on that conversation and get a little bit more to the nitty gritty details of you bought a vacation rental. Now what? What are some tools that you can use in order to manage your vacation rental remotely? And so I have personal experience with that. I live obviously in Iowa, and we own a cabin in Georgia. We've owned that a little bit over a year now, and we manage that completely from across the country with some helpful systems that are on our phone. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, so there's three of them that I want to bring up. The first one is called Hospitable, and what Hospitable does is it helps us to manage our automated messages. So if you've ever stayed at an Airbnb before and you've got messages from the host, maybe your check-in messages, maybe a check up the next morning asking how things are going, things like that. Chances are the host is not sitting somewhere and texting you. They probably have their messages automated, and that's what we do too. I don't spend a lot of time on a day-to-day basis sitting and messaging back and forth with guests. Everything goes out on its own. So it is some legwork on the front end to come up with your messages and what details I'll need to get out there. But then once you have it set up, it runs pretty seamlessly. So again, we use Hospitable. It's $25 a month, and it syncs up to both our Airbnb and our VRBO calendars. And so when somebody books, they automatically get a message of, thank you for booking. We look forward to your stay. You're going to get your check-in message 24 hours before arrival. And then, like clockwork, 24 hours before they are about to get checked in, they get a nice long check-in message that tells them everything that they need to know in terms of accessing our cabin, door code, and just kind of some extra things that as you own a rental, when you start getting the same sorts of questions over and over again, then you kind of tweak the wording in those messages to make sure that you answer some of those things on the front end, and then that really minimizes the amount of times that guests are needing to personally reach out to you. So they get a thank you for booking. They get a check-in message. That's our longest one. I suggest more details, the better, so that they have all of that and they don't need to reach out to you constantly. And then I think it's like 9 a.m. the next morning, they get a how are things going message. That's just really short. And that is something that I've heard is a good thing to do. That way, if there is a concern, you can address it right there and not have no communication and then find out there was issues that they had in a review. So it kind of gives them a chance to say, yep, everything's good, or hey, I have a question about this. So then that way you can overcome anything if there was, but hopefully there's not a lot of things going on. So they get that. And then also for us, the day of their checkout in the morning, they get a checkout message sent that says, hope you enjoyed your stay. Please follow the checkout instructions in our binder. La, 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 la. So it's all automated. All those messages go out. You can tweak them. Hospitable has a lot of different things you can do in terms of, doing like, if this happens, send this message out. You pull in like the names of the guests, you pull in addresses. So if you have multiple properties, you can use similar messages and have it drop in the address for the property that it's referring to. We just have the one, but lots of things you can do with that. So $25, Hospitable. All right, next is an app that we use for our cleaners. It is called Turnover B&B, and there's not a monthly charge for that, but there is a service fee for each clean that happens. So our cleaner charges $120, and it costs $126 to run it through the app, which I just kind of pass that charge on to the guests to pay for the cleaning expense. So what this does is it syncs also our calendars from Airbnb and VRBO. When we get a guest, then it automatically pings our cleaner that we use, and then they can accept the job, which in our case, they always have, they're always available. And then they come and clean. When they come and clean, also in the app, there's a checklist where you can have certain things that you want to make sure that they do each time. You can require photos of certain things if you would like to. And then there's also notes in the app too. So they can leave notes like, hey, you're getting low on paper towels or whatever it is, or hey, we saw this particular issue. But it's really, really nifty. So Turnover B&B, you can also find cleaners through Turnover B&B. So you put up your place and then you say that you're accepting cleaning bids and you'll have people reach out to you. And that's how we found our cleaners as well. But if you found a cleaner outside of that service, you could also sync them into Turnover B&B too. But super nifty. Again, I am not every time we get a booking going like, oh, we got a booking. Okay, let me call my cleaners. Hey, are you available on the 19th to come and clean? You know, that nobody has time for doing that. So I really don't have a lot of legwork at all that I put in with the cleaners. It just automatically happens. And if there's issues, then I see that in the notes and I can reach out to them if I need to. But usually things just go right along smoothly. So Turnover B&B, and then the last one is called Price Labs, and it is $21.99 a month for one property, and then I think it kind of changes as you add more. And so what that does is automates our pricing and syncs that out to all of our calendars. So it syncs it out to Airbnb and to VRBO, and I can go and I can see what the suggested pricing is, and I can go and change the pricing for certain weekends that are higher demand if I want. I can I can't even go into all the detail that Price Labs lets you do. I don't even tap into to a lot of it, but they have certain things that you can set up, like say it's a last minute booking, drop the price by 10%. All of these like little nitty gritty details you can set up in Price Labs in order to set your pricing and have certain things trigger certain discounts or you know, like I said, the seasonality of the month of the year, and also just within the week it'll also fluctuate your pricing as well in terms of your weekday versus your weekend pricing and all of that. So it's been pretty helpful, and we use that a lot. So the three things I suggest and three things that I rely on the most and use a ton are Hospitable for that automatic messaging, Turnover B&B for the cleaning, and then Price Labs for the pricing. Two additional ones I would throw in is just that we have a Ring doorbell, which is really nice because then it pings our phone anytime you know, somebody is seen outside our door. So for us, when our phone goes off on the weekend, I'm like, oh, guests are here. And our kids kind of know that too. They'll go, oh, guests are at the cabin when the Ring alert goes off. So nifty to have that. And then also keypad entry is nifty to have as well. We use a Yale lock. But yeah, it never stops amazing me how easy it is to run something from across the US just from my phone, really with very minimal effort. Once you get all that legwork put in of getting things set up on the front end, it has the potential to run pretty smoothly, and ours has. So I hope that was helpful. If you have interest in owning an Airbnb or VRBO or questions about that, I am more than happy to answer those. I'm an open book. Feel free to reach out, but I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.